All right, and welcome into the Betting Pros College Football Show. It's a beautiful fall day to take another lap around the nation as we reveal our Week 9 picks and predictions. I'm your host, Seth Woolcock, and today I am joined by a man who isn't afraid to back the underdogs, Terrell Furman Jr. What's up, man? How is Hoko?
At this point, homecoming is amazing, by the way. But at this point, I'm just never going to fade Miami again because obviously the fix is in for them. It's clearly in for them. Miami, you're national champions. There you go. Give a congratulations. Mario Cristobal, he got it done. Cam Ward, he's going to be the first round draft pick, first overall pick. Yes. Just go ahead, give Miami all the awards because the fix is in. This is 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row. No, all right. I'm over this. It's whatever. Miami national champions. Congratulations.
Well, it's good to have you on the program regardless, Terrell. Thanks for joining us today. Also plugging in today is a man who is seeing the field pretty well himself right now. Scott, steal your girl, Bogman. How's it hanging, brother?
Man, I am the Texas game still. I'm so mad.
We're like 5 days removed from that, my friend.
I'm still mad. Yeah, I know it's old news in our world, but I'm still mad about it. But the good thing is it doesn't ruin our chances to make the tournament and to go deep in the tournament. So just gotta buckle up and beat the brakes off of Vandy this week to prove to everybody this Vandy story is nice, but it's over. So.
What do you usually say, Scott? The best week is the next week, right?
You're right. You know what? You're right, Seth. Thank you for that. This week is the most important week. That's right. And we're gonna get you some good picks this week. That's for sure.
I think all of us do probably a half dozen shows each week, but this one is probably my favorite because the vibes are always immaculate between the three of us. Thanks to everyone who rides along with us every single week. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe whether you're watching here on YouTube or listening to the audio version as well. We appreciate your support. Also, I wanted to remind you about the Betting Pros Discord. Looking to up your game in sports betting? Well, join our sports betting Discord community at bettingpros.com/chat. Not only can you connect with expert handicappers who will provide free picks for the NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, player props, live betting, and more, but you can also now participate in our weekly community picks. Cast your vote to see how your picks stack up against the experts and track your success. If you aren't betting the Liberty game on Wednesday like I am, your betting weekend likely begins Thursday in the Steel City, home of the Pittsburgh-style sandwich. Bogman, I know you're a Lurs fan. Have you ever had a Permane-style sandwich?
No, I haven't been to Pittsburgh since I was like 4. So
okay,
my dad's from Pittsburgh, my whole family's from Houston, but no, I need to go to Permane's and get me a sandwich, a Roethlisberger, right? You can still get a Roethlisberger.
Yes,
there, so,
yes, yep. They also have the Danger Witch now there as well.
The Danger Witch.
Terrell, have you had the fries and the slaw on the sandwich yet?
No, never.
Woo! You guys are missing out. Come over to Western PA. We'll show you a little bit of something.
I'll find it in the summertime when I can, go out without freezing my nads off.
Absolutely. Let us know in the chat. Have you guys ever had a Pittsburgh-style sandwich? Could you get down with the fries and the slaw right on top? Let me know. I'm curious to hear.
On the sandwich?
Yes, right on it. Yeah. All on top.
Sounds like a mess.
I took my girlfriend there for our first date. She wasn't overly impressed.
And she still was with you? That's the first date?
8 years strong, baby. 8 years strong.
Okay, all right.
Boy. Yes, sir. The 19th ranked Pitt Panthers, though, they have now moved to 6.5-point favorites over the Syracuse Orange, and the total has actually increased by 2.5 points as well. The Orange's leading receiver, Trevor Penn, is questionable for this one after taking a shot to the head last week. Bogman, you liked the over earlier in the week. You liked the over in this game earlier in the week at 60.5. Do you still like it at 62.5, or are you now moving to a side?
No, I still like it, and I'm going to stick to it here. Pitt, 4th in pace of play, but they are going up against a time of possession king here in Syracuse, who's 6th in time of possession. So it kind of made me waver until I started to dig just a little bit deeper, and I saw, against Syracuse, UNLV with 20 minutes and 22 seconds of possession put up 41 points against them. Georgia Tech, with 23:08 in possession, put up 28 points. NC State only put up 17 points when they held the ball for 23 minutes and 8 seconds last week, but 411 yards. They had a missed field goal. They fumbled on the 32. and the 21. They're intercepted at the 18, and they kicked a field goal late to try to get that onside to tie the game late as well. So they were moving the ball on Syracuse with a limited time of possession. And Pitt, with less than 30 minutes of possession so far, they had the tight one in the rain against Cal. They only put up 17 there. But against UNC, they held the ball for less than 30, had 34 points, 38 points with 23 minutes, 43 seconds of possession against West Virginia, and 28 points against Cincy, who's a pretty good defense, with only 23-34. So Pitt doesn't need to hold the ball to score a lot of points, and Syracuse is probably going to hold the ball, which gives them more chances to score points. So I'm sticking to this over.
Terrell, I know you picked the side of every single game. Where are you leaning here, my friend?
Oh, I am not leaning anywhere. I am all in on the Syracuse Orange getting it done here. This is a great spot, and for a number of reasons. One, I think you can pass on this Pitt defense. They're 95th in opponents' yards per game. You have Kyle McCord here, who looks like a stud. I think Fran Brown has this team playing well, and not just playing well, but playing well on the road. They're 2-0 straight up, 2-0 ATS on the road, 2-0 straight up in ATS as a dog this season. And then you get Pat Narduzzi with expectations, and Pat Narduzzi with expectations is no good. Matter of fact, since he took the job at Pitt, Pat Narduzzi, when laying 5 or more at home, 13-23-1 against the spread, 36%. Wow. So yeah, this is not a spot where I like to back Narduzzi. I saw it in the Cal game. They kind of squeaked that one out and barely got the win. Cal covered, but then you have the bye, and I think that they were rolling before that, and this just kind of stops all momentum. And so yeah, I'm on Syracuse to go on the road here and get it done in Pittsburgh.
Do you just like the spread 6.5, or would you put the money line down as well?
Come on now. Come on. You know, we always sprinkle on the money line every time. Give me the Syracuse Orange money line sitting at plus
192
right now.
Oh, 280.
192.
Okay.
I said that was 190.
Okay.
I said the wrong one. But yeah, plus 192. I'll take it. Absolutely.
Okay, on Friday night in Las Vegas, the 17th ranked Boise State Broncos will square up against UNLV in a game that has absolutely huge implications for the Mountain West standings. Boise State was favored by 2.5 earlier this week. You can now get them favored by a field goal. Finding any injury information on the Mountain West is more difficult than tracking down Jamarcus Russell's current whereabouts. It is so hard. So I have no injury information. That said, Terrell, you've taken the Friday night dog almost every chance you can get this season. Does that continue in this one?
Yeah, I think so. I really do like Malik Williams and this UNLV offense. They're really, really good. Now, the question is, can you stop Ashton Jeanty? And I don't think anybody has the answer to that question, but I think that they can try to slow him down a bit, and whatever they're going to give up on the ground, I truly think Malik Williams can quarterback this team and get them looking really, really good down the field and just match them point for point. I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair at home. UNLV catching points, and I think that this could be just a field goal game. Yes, with the hook, 100%. That was the thing that I was waiting on, that hook for in this game. It was sitting at 3 for a minute. I'm going to take it now. UNLV plus 3.5. I think the line's going the wrong way.
Boggs, you liked Boise at 2.5. Do you still like him at 3?
I'm going to go to the over here in this game. Everything that Terrell just said about the game script, I can't get it out of my head, right? Like, the way you slow down Ashton Jeanty is you don't. Oregon
10 yards a clip.
Down. Yeah.
I mean,
doesn't matter.
So what do you have to do to beat Boise State if you're UNLV? You have to outscore them. You have to run up that score and make them pass and go away from Ashton Jeanty. So I think UNLV's goal is to score as many points as possible here to make it so Boise State has to pass. I don't think anybody stops Jeanty, though. I think they're going to put up some points on this UNLV defense, who has looked good, but they haven't played a lot of tough competition. Nobody liked Boise State quite yet. So I think Boise State is going to score points. I think UNLV's strategy should be to score points. And just looking recently, 4 of Boise State's 5 games against FBS opponents have gone over 66. 3 of the last 4 for UNLV have gone over 66 as well. Okay. So I'm sticking to this over.
Okay, I like it. The over's also been a popular play that's been hitting on Friday nights as well. So like both those calls, gentlemen. Before we keep it moving, don't forget to join our college football podcast group. You can sync your picks or use the quick pick feature on the BettingPros sports betting app to get a chance to win some free prizes. You can elevate your betting strategy today and join the conversation at bettingpros.com/college. The big noon kickoff features the Nebraska Cornhuskers looking to respond against the 4th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes as 25.5-point dogs. Ryan Day confirmed this week that the Buckeyes will be out left tackle Josh Simmons for the remainder of the season. Quinshon Judkins did have a hand procedure on the bye week. However, he is expected to play here. The status of safety Lathon Ransom, though, is unknown. Terrell, does the banged-up nature of the Buckeyes in a look-ahead spot to Penn State next week make you want to get invested with Dylan Raiola and company?
No, not at all. I think that the Buckeyes are going to absolutely roll them here. They had a week to sit on that duck that got served to them last time out. A whole week to sit on it and really think about what happened. I think they come into this game locked in. I'm not really sold on Raiola on the road. I'm not really sold on him in a big time atmosphere like this going to Ohio State. I think that the Nebraska defense also can be suspect to the pass, and I think that Ohio State's offense is going to come out clicking on all cylinders, just trying to right the ship. I don't think they need to pull out all the stops that they're going to pull out for Penn State against Nebraska. So, yeah, I think Ohio State rolls, and they roll easy getting ready for next week. I'll lay the points.
Bogman, you backing Will Howard and company in this one?
No, I mean, this one's not going to be my best bets. I don't really like this game because we saw how miserable Nebraska looked last week against Indiana. And, no disrespect to Indiana. I think they're great. Game day is going to be there. We're going to talk about them in a minute. It's going to be a fun game, and they've been great. They're not Ohio State. So I do think Ohio State can just beat the brakes off of Nebraska if they want. But they have shown us this season they kind of, I've heard a couple people say it, play with their food a little bit here,
Yeah.
They only scored 7 against Iowa in the first half. They didn't score any points in the fourth quarter against Michigan State in a look-ahead spot to Oregon. I just don't trust them to cover a spread this big. So we got an extra point. Since the Monday show, Seth, I'm going to keep on the Nebraska side and take the plus 25.5.
Okay. College game day touches down in Bloomington, where the 13th ranked Indiana Hoosiers are still laying 6.5 points on the 4-3 Washington Huskies. IU quarterback Curtis Rourke will be out with a thumb injury, leaving Taven Jackson under center. However, Washington, they're also banged up coming into this one. Starting left tackle Maximus McCree is doubtful, and starting running back Jonah Coleman also questionable. Bogman, no line movement since our early prediction show here. I take it you're still backing Kirk Cignetti and company here?
Yeah, I mean, I think this environment is going to be electric because not only is game day there, but then it's a kickoff right after game day is over. So I think that place is going to be jumping. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I know, we get the backup quarterback Taven Jackson here for Indiana. But what I'm concerned about for Washington is not them getting to Taven Jackson. It's this Indiana defense has been unbelievable to start the year. And the Washington offense has played terribly. They have been decent passing, but that's when they're, trying to come back from getting down. The Huskies are 94th in points per games. And look at some of these teams that they played as well. EMU, Eastern Michigan, 81st in points per game. They only put up 30 on them. Washington State, 88th. They put up 19 on them. They put up 24 on Navy, or on Northwestern, who's 29th. But Rutgers, only 18 points. Michigan, who's been miserable, only 27. And then against Iowa, who has a defense that is similar to Indiana right now, they only put up 16 points. Indiana, 7th in scoring defense, 7th in total defense, 10th in defensive performance, 4th in defensive performance against the pass. I think it might be fair to say Indiana hasn't played anyone yet, but they have covered every spread except week 1 when they won by 24 points, and they didn't cover the 24.5 against FIU. It's safe to say the defense will help out that backup quarterback Taven Jackson enough to cover this, so I'm still on the Hoosiers until the wheels fall off.
Yeah, and they have all those question marks on offense, and then they're going to be without their starting left tackle. We don't know about Coleman either in the backfield, so I think you might get me here to go Indiana. I've been hesitant a little bit this week just because I know sometimes these big spots with College Game Day coming to Bloomington for the first time in a long time, first time on a Saturday ever, that sometimes there's letdowns. But I don't think so here. Terrell, what say you?
I think the Curtis O'Rourke injury really does concern me because I think Washington's defense is pretty live as well. Like I think they're
Oh, yeah,
pretty
they're good
solid.
D.
And the Iowa game kind of the wheels fell off, and that was we gave up 40. You're really questioning yourself as a defense, and I think now after some time to sit and think on that one, they had a chance to really bounce back, and that defense comes in, and Taven Jackson is just going to be seeing like a deer in headlights at a time. So it's a really, really big game, really, really huge atmosphere. I think I'm going a little bit more veteran leadership under center with Will Rogers here, plus the 6.5. I don't really have a lot of goodwill for the Washington Huskies, I'll say.
You're probably
and
not going to
Will
bet your own
Rogers.
money on this one.
Yeah. No. I actually think I am looking at betting Washington plus 6.5 here. I just think this is a close game. Like I'm concerned about the transition at quarterback for Indiana, as if that's going to slow down this Indiana offense, because I am less bullish on the Indiana defense than you are, and I think that Will Rogers and company will find ways to move the football, and if this gets into a shootout, then I kind of like the veteran QB to kind of get things done, even though I'm not the biggest Will Rogers fan at all. So something in my gut just tells me, look at Washington plus 6.5 here. I'm going that way.
Okay, all right. Looks like we're a little divided early on in the program here.
Mm-hmm.
At MetLife Stadium, though, maybe we're on one team in particular in this game. The 12th ranked Fighting Irish are now 12.5-point favorites against the 24th ranked Navy Shipmen. Marcus Freeman is listing kicker Mitch Jeter as questionable. Keep in mind, though, they did lose projected first-round cornerback Ben Morrison for the season last week. We touched on that in this program. Navy head coach Brian Newberry said this week that he doesn't think this team has come close to hitting their ceiling so far. The Betting Pros community also, I think, would agree with the Navy head coach there, as I saw a lot of people in the comments of our Monday show, Bogman, saying, hey, they like Navy here for the potential upset, even on the money line, plus 386. Terrell, what say you?
Oh, and this is where they get you. I've been betting college football for a long time. Maybe not as long as others, but long enough for me. And I know when they throw you a double-digit spread and they're telling you to take the dog, and the dog has no shot in here. I don't think the dog has a shot here in MetLife for Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's fans are going to travel well. They're going to fill up that place. They're going to be loud. They're going to be annoying. And they're going to literally destroy them in the passing game. Like, I think that they are going to absolutely put up points on this Navy team. Give me the over, too. I would love that look. Notre Dame team total over. I think Navy looks fine, and I think they'll be competent, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Navy kept this a game for the whole first half. But when the second half comes, and when Notre Dame sees that, hey, we have to really score here, we have to really put on a good resume moving forward, looking at the college football playoff, I think Notre Dame absolutely rolls them. I like them. Lay the points.
Are you going with that as well, Bogman?
Yeah, I am, actually. So Terrell and I are going to be on the same one, and I'm sure we'll hear it in the comments again here, Seth. But it's tough to know what Navy is until they play a team the level of Notre Dame, right? Like, I think they've been so great this year. They really have. And Horvath throws the ball as well. Like, so they can't, but like Terrell said, if they get down in this game, they don't have the horses to come back. Even with a banged-up secondary for Notre Dame, this is not the team to challenge them with those injuries here. And I just think physically at the line, we're going to see Notre Dame kind of manhandle them. And this is an elimination game. Make no doubt about it for Notre Dame. If they lose this game, they will not make the tournament. So they have to win this game. They gave away their game. They gave away their, one loss to NIU earlier this year. They have to win this game. So I think we've seen a renewed effort from Notre Dame since. And I just can't get over the fact that Navy has looked good against this terrible competition. Memphis, again, the only good team, the only team with a winning record that they beat all year. Now, they beat them soundly and put up a lot of points. They also gave up a lot of points to Memphis. And the combined record, again, I said this on Monday, so I just want to repeat it here. Of the teams that have played Navy, is 7-21. It is not good competition that they have been rolling. So I think Notre Dame is good enough to win this game. I feel like Terrell and I are the only ones picking Notre Dame and laying the points here. But I think there's too much on the line for Notre Dame. They're too good to lose a game like this to Navy. But I tell you what, Navy wins this game, and they're in a different light to me. So, I probably won't be betting this game. But if I'm making a pick, it's Notre Dame.
Why are there so many Notre Dame fans? I feel like everyone I talk to for the first time, and we get into a conversation.
Why
about
are there so many
football.
Cowboys fans and Yankees fans?
Just because they're always on. They were always on TV back in the day.
They're always on TV, and they're usually pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate getting in a conversation with someone from like Pennsylvania or New York, and hey, who's your favorite team? Notre Dame. Okay, that makes sense. Did you go to Notre Dame? Did
you go to confessional?
Good point, Terrell. Good point. Rounding out the noon slate is Oklahoma traveling to square off against this 18th ranked Ole Miss Rebels team. Oklahoma has fired offensive coordinator Seth Littrell, promoting offensive analyst Kevin Johns to call plays. Jackson Arnold will get the start once again for the Sooners, but he will be likely without his top 5 wide receivers once again. Ole Miss comes off a bye here, so we can assume they'll be close to full health. The 19.5-point tickets that you could get earlier this week is gone, Boggs. So I take it you're staying away from the Rebels as a nearly 3-touchdown favorite?
No, I'll lay the points and take the Reds. Oklahoma can't score points. They can't score points. And going to Jackson Arnold is not going to fix this. Firing Seth Littrell is not going to fix this because they don't play offensive line. The offensive line for the Sooners is miserable. They put up 3 points and then 9 points. I just don't. When are they scoring points in this game? Mississippi, yes, they haven't been perfect this year, but they're still second in scoring defense. 10.6 points per game is what they're giving up. They grade first in run D, fourth in pass rush, first in tackling. LSU was able to pass on them, but that was a way better passing offense, one of the best in the country against Ole Miss. I just don't think OU has anything on offense right now, and it doesn't matter if Mississippi isn't clicking on all cylinders on offense. If they put up 35 points, Ole Miss is going to win this game, and they're averaging 41.4. I don't think OU can score much more than 2 touchdowns, so 35 points for Ole Miss is your magic number. OU is held to 14 points. Ole Miss is going to cover this spread. It's a big spread. It's too big for this type of a game, but OU's offense is too bad to help them out right now. So I'm going to take Ole Miss and lay the points.
Trell, you going with the Rebs as well?
Yeah. I hate to. I feel like I've been on a lot of large favorites today. It's not like me. I don't feel myself this
Blink
week.
twice if you're all right.
Oh well. I don't know what happens if I can't stop blinking here. But yeah, man, I'm with Boggs. You can't look at this OU offense and want to back this team any way, shape, or form, especially against Ole Miss. That is actually pretty solid. The road. Yeah, and on the road, and then. Also, I mean, how bad is Auburn to give up 27 points to this team? Like, I'm just completely.
They had a pick six.
OU. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm just completely out on OU. I don't think that they can score enough points, and I think that Jackson Dart, you give him enough opportunities, and that offense is going to give him plenty of opportunities. He's going to put points on the board. So yeah, I'll lay the 20.5 with Ole Miss.
Okay. Speaking of 3-touchdown favorites, that's exactly what number 1 Oregon is against the 20th ranked Illinois Fighting Illini on Saturday at home. The injury report for the Ducks honestly looks like a CVS receipt. I'm not going to go through every single player, but the notables are defensive end Jordan Bursch. He is questionable, and tight end Terrence Ferguson is questionable as well after getting an appendix surgery before the last time we've seen them. And then Illinois, they are going to be potentially without leading rusher Caden Fegan. Once again, he remains questionable. How do you see this one shaking out in Eugene, Terrell?
Oh, I am so back. Just like that, I am so back. Give me the Illini catching 21.5 on the road. What did we not see this Illinois defense all season? They've been really, really solid. I mean, well, Michigan can't score anything, so we'll let that. And Purdue is just a wild dumpster fire. But that the Penn State game,
Yeah.
They were really solid. They kept themselves in that game, and if it wasn't for a late touchdown, it would have been 14-7. Like, that was a
Hmm.
14-7 game for a while. So I think that's more comparable to Oregon State than a Michigan or a Purdue is. I think they're going to get up for a really big game. Bienema is really good at coaching his team up, especially the defense, to get up against these really high power offenses. And you already talked about it. It's a CVS injury report here. Like, oh, I am so down on the Illini to go into Eugene and just make some noise. I'm going to take them plus the 21.5. And I mean, miracles happen every day, Seth, every single day. So 9-1 on one football game?
I I s-
Absolutely.
I said that earlier
Absolutely.
this week to Bogman. I mentioned at that point you could get them 11-1 on the money line that I thought was maybe worth a sprinkle here. And you can also get them 21.5, so you're getting a little bit of a hook there, Bogman. If you do want to get Illinois, are you going to be backing the Illini as well?
I'm not taking the money line, but I will take the three
Oh my
touchdowns for
gosh.
sure. Look, last week was the first big spread that Oregon covered all season. Oregon was favored by 17.5
Barely.
against Boise State. They won by 3.
Yeah.
They were 24-point favorites against UCLA. They won by 21, 22.5 against Michigan State. They won by 21. So they've been close on these, but they didn't cover them. I just don't think anyone's beating Illinois by 3 touchdowns. They held on, tough against Penn State on the road. They have won as straight up underdogs against Kansas, Nebraska, and Michigan. And Oregon will probably have some explosive plays in this, but I like that bend but don't break defense from Illinois and the way they've been playing. There's going to be some rain in this game according to the forecast as well. And I think playing against the number 1 team is a game that Illinois gets up for. And we mentioned that on Monday, right, Seth? Like, Illinois has gotten up for big games against Penn State and then had letdowns like that game against Purdue. So this is a game on the road I think they get up for, and they keep it within this 21.5. So I'm going to take the Illini in the points.
And look at
Okay.
the schedule after this. Home to Minnesota, home to Michigan State, on the road to Rutgers, on the road to Northwestern. If you win this game, you are in the driver's seat of you making the playoff.
Wow. Yeah. Great point, Terrell. Great point, guys. Love it. We have another top 25 matchup on deck, this time in the SEC, as the number 15th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide will host the number 21 Missouri Tigers in Tuscaloosa here. Missouri starting quarterback Brady Cook was expected to be at practice Tuesday, but it was unknown if he would actually participate. They are also listing questionable starting running back Nate Noel and tight end Brett Norfleet as well for the Tigers there. Alabama, they had 3 key members of their secondary banged up against Tennessee, and we are currently unsure the status of Keon Saab, Red Morgan, and Devonta Smith. Not the former Heisman Devonta Smith, there's a different Devonta Smith in their secondary. Bogman, with a ton of question marks on both sides of this one, do you have an official play here with Bama still favored by 13.5 like they were earlier in the week?
I mean, this is the worst ranked on rank matchup, right? Like, these teams are both such big disappointments this season. But my thing here is, can we get some fight from Alabama now that this is really a game that would knock them out of the playoff? They're at home. They're playing a gimpy Missouri team. I saw Noel marked as out earlier, so I don't think he's going to play. We aren't even sure that Brady Cook is playing, and if he is playing, is he 100% in this game? Milroe has been tough, obviously. They went from the 41 points against Georgia to the defense, 35 against Vandy, 27 against South Carolina, and then 17 last week against Tennessee. So this offensive production has been shrinking for Alabama every single week since that Georgia game. But Missouri, their strength of schedule has been weak, 87th according to PFF, but they have been top 10 in scoring defense, total defense, 15th in PFF defensive grade. I like Bama and the under here. I think we get the bow up at home from Bama, and they have to win out to have a chance to make the playoff. This is a gimpy Missouri team right now. I think it's time for Bama to show up. So I'll take Bama in the under in this game.
Okay. Terrell, how do you feel about it?
Oh, yeah. I'm all the way on Bama here. I'm not feeling myself again with another double-digit favorite here. But look at what Mizzou did on the road. Okay, yes, they played UMass and beat them 45-0. But the week before, they got trounced by Texas A&M. They were never in that game. It was questionable. I'm questioning now Brady Cook may not play, and you're telling me that I'm supposed to trust this team on the road again to keep it close? No, I think Alabama's defense is pissed off. I think they're mad. I think the whole team is like, how did we fumble away that game at Tennessee? That was the revenge game. That was the game that was going to push us further up the standings, back into possibly trying to fight for a bye in the playoff. Now they're fighting to make the playoff. They have to win this game and they have to show out. So I'm all over Alabama. I think they get it done by 3 touchdowns.
Okay. Let's head back to Nashville, where when we last handicapped a Vandy game, it ended with a goalpost in the river. Number 5 Texas are now 18.5-point favorites against the 25th ranked Vanderbilt Commodores. Texas has questionable tags currently to safety Andrew Makuba. The big news, though, I think, out of Texas, which it could be a lot of smoke, Quinn Ewers missed his regularly scheduled press conference with the media members earlier this week, adding fuel to the rumors that he might leave this squad early. Terrell, a lot of noise right now down in Austin. Can Diego Pavia and company capitalize on that Saturday?
The most dangerous thing for a team with all these expectations trying to bounce back is to go on the road and play a team that knows they can beat you. Vanderbilt knows they can beat Texas. Like, this isn't any question. Vanderbilt knows they can compete with Texas. Look at their games. They've had an amazing season thus far, almost beating Mizzou, beat Bama, Kentucky. Like, they've done really, really well. And the Ball State game was just a little bump in the road onto this Texas game. They had this one circled. They know that they can beat Texas. Diego Pavia is doing it all. He's amazing. He's great. He's only thrown 1 interception this year. Just 1. He's only thrown 1 interception. Like, Diego Pavia is taking the world by storm. And I know Boggs thinks that this is the spot, but Boggs, as a Texas fan, you have to remember all the times that y'all took 1 loss and you just knew there was a bounce back game coming up, and it wasn't. They took another L. I am all over Diego Pavia on the money line. This spread is disrespectful. Why is this 19? There is no reason this should be 19. At the very least, this is a single possession game with a chance to win it. I'm back in Diego Pavia. This is a great dog. You have to bet this.
Bogman, I think I saw your soul just leave your body when Terrell made that pick. Where are you at on this one?
I mean, I'm not going to waver on this. This game to me is about the line of scrimmage. And I just do not think that Vandy puts pressure on Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning. You know what? We got 2 good quarterbacks. It doesn't matter who's back there. True. So it doesn't matter who's back there to me. Texas is going to put up points. They are going to wreck Diego Pavia. They're going to eat his lunch on the front of this line. I don't think this is going to be a close game. Vandy has been a great story. They beat Kentucky. They beat Bama, obviously. Biggest win in school history. They are having an outstanding season. I think this is a good team. This is no longer the bottom feeder of the SEC. This is a team that is competing. They have a good coach and Clark Lea as well. Like, could they cover this? Absolutely, they can cover this. This is a gigantic spread. So I'm not, going to sit here and tell you have to bet Texas, but I just think the line of scrimmage is the problem. It hasn't been great for Alabama this season. It's been good for Texas for every game except for Georgia, every single game. So Georgia has a different level of athletes than Vanderbilt. So that was the only issue that they dealt with. Vandy they only beat Ball State by 10 points last week. So let's calm down.
They were looking ahead. Come on, you don't bet Vandy as a favorite. You take them as a dog. Look,
that was at home. They won by 10 at home against Ball State.
Do you see that? Texas? Oh, they're looking. Oh, is that the bye week around the corner? What? They're gonna wait till after the bye to get this together. Diego Pavia's going in there. Nobody's traveling to Vanderbilt for this game.
Let me ask you this. Yes, they are, by the way, and they don't have to travel because Texas is like Notre Dame. They have fans everywhere. But let me ask you this: are you sprinkling on the money line here, Terrell?
What? Of course. Matter of fact,
what are you doing? You like flushing money down the toilet?
Let's go and let's parlay Vanderbilt with Illinois.
Oh,
yes.
my God.
Yes, 100%.
Terrell, you might be quitting your job after. This might be our last show with Terrell. If that ends.
Why are we not on? Vanderbilt has been great all year.
You could also just buy a lottery ticket.
The first time we saw Texas play a competent offense, they folded it away. Oh, well, Diego Pavi is going to be running and gunning up and down the field. Oh, I'm so bought into this Vanderbilt team.
I'm going to see if I can make some calls to Vanderbilt SI. Maybe I can get Terrell potentially like a care package or something. I think you need some Vandy swag after this.
You
one,
need
my
some
friend.
anchor down gear for sure.
Get me a Diego Pavia jersey. I'll definitely be wearing it up and down the street.
Before we continue, I didn't want to tell you about Fast Break Bets. If you want more Terrell and you like betting on basketball, then go ahead and join him on the Fast Break Bets podcast, your daily dose of basketball betting in 15 minutes or less. Tune in every day for your rapid-fire fix of all things basketball, from the W to the association to college basketball and more. Check out the Fast Break Bets podcast on the Betting Pros YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your podcasts. The action gets going in the primetime slate as number 6 Miami hosts the 1-6 Florida State Seminoles. Brock Glenn is slated to start here again at quarterback for the Seminoles, despite getting benched last time out. Making matters worse for Florida State, running back Cam Davis, who was promoted to the starter after several injuries to the position, left last week's game with a lower body injury, as did right tackle Darius Washington. No injuries of note for Miami. Bogman, you liked Miami earlier this week as a 21-point favorite. You can now pick them up as an extra half point here as well, meaning a 3-touchdown difference would cash this. You have to be ecstatic, right?
I mean, listen, I keep hearing from everyone, this is a rivalry game. Let's throw the records out the window and all of that. What? What are you guys talking about? I asked Seth this on Monday. Terrell, can you name me the 2 offenses that are averaging fewer points than FSU this year?
Fewer points.
There's only 2 of them.
Oklahoma?
No,
that's what I
That's
said.
a good
That was
guess.
my- that
That's
was
what
my
Seth
guess.
guessed.
Okay, hold on.
One of them's playing tonight, and they're really bad.
No way. Is it freaking Middle Tennessee State?
No, it's Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw?
And
Wait,
Houston.
Middle Tennessee State? It has more? What?
They're favored by a lot, I think, against Kennesaw. Kennesaw State's miserable. They put up 5 points the other week. This is their first year in the FCS. Like, you don't expect a lot from them. You expect a lot from Florida State. And, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I was like, what does DJU have to do to get benched? Well, he got hurt, and they brought up in these backups, and they both are worse than DJU somehow. It's been so bad at Florida State this year. And yet, I get it. Terrell's wearing the tinfoil hat. The ACC has the fix in for Miami. They don't need to even show up for this game, though. They don't
can see it with your eyes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but also they don't have to show up in this game because FSU has been absolutely miserable. They're going to put up no fight in this game. I know this is a big rivalry game. Maybe we'll see a bow up for a half or something. But Miami and Cam Ward are going to put up points at will. So I think this is a stomping on the Miami side, so I'm going to take Miami lay the points.
I already bet the over in this game. I might be getting invested with Miami as well, but I would like to hear what Terrell has to say about it.
I mean, there's no point in betting against Miami. The fix is in for them regardless. Like, this is like they're going to make sure Miami's in a good situation regardless. I'm just going to stop fading Miami until we get to the playoff. They get whether they get a home playoff game or whether they have a bye. I'm just going to fade them in the playoffs because it's clear. The ACC has decided that Miami is going to be good. And I swear to you, this Miami team is not good. I swear there's something wrong with them. But you know what? They've done well. There's no way I can put money on Florida State. So, yeah, I'm laying the points with Miami.
Okay, let's head to Madison, Wisconsin, where the improved Badgers are 6.5-point dogs here against the 3rd-ranked and undefeated Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State comes off their second bye week, so they should be feeling pretty fresh, I would hope. Wisconsin, meanwhile, they're also about as healthy as they can get right now, despite not having the quarterback or the running back who are listed as the starters to begin the season. There has been 0 line movement in this one, with Penn State still favored by 6.5 and a total of 47.5 still out there. Who do you like, Terrell?
Even though they're down the starting quarterback, quote unquote, and it just makes me confused on why do all these coaches not realize the backup is probably your better guy? Like, Van Dyke was not good. He wasn't.
Yeah,
So they
he wasn't
got
good
rid
in
of
Miami either.
Yeah, they got rid of Van Dyke, and guess what? The offense started putting up points and started looking good, and the air raid is kind of the air raid in Wisconsin right now. Like, I think that this Wisconsin team is really interesting. They've been playing their best ball, and Penn State, I can't help but think that Penn State is not. I can't help but think that they're kind of squeaking their way through these wins. I mean, the 27-11 against UCLA is really just the one that just like, oh, they really played down to their competition there. If you play down to this Wisconsin team, they could steal a win at home. So I like Wisconsin plus the 6.5 here.
I like the Penn State money line. Bogman, what do you like?
I like Penn State and laying the points here. And I hate to diverge from the recent trends. Penn State hasn't covered in 3 straight. Wisconsin has. Also, I like that Wisconsin is at home. I just don't think this is enough points for Wisconsin to cover here. Wisconsin is the team that beats the teams they should beat and loses to the teams they should lose to. Their 2 losses are to Bama and USC, and they have been favorites in 4 or 5 wins. The one game they weren't favorites and they won, they got 1 point at Rutgers. So that was the only game that they weren't a favorite in that they did win. The games that Penn State hasn't covered in have mainly been the big spreads. Minus 34 against Bowling Green. They only won by 7. Minus 19.5 against Illinois. They won by 14. Minus 29.5 against UCLA. They won by 16. And then last week, or 2 weeks ago, they got hooked against against USC by 3.5. They won by 3. Even with the look ahead for Penn State, I don't think this is enough points. I still think that this is a 10-point, 2 touchdown game for Penn State. Wisconsin is already on that backup quarterback, like Terrell said. Maybe he's better, but I don't think that it's going to matter in this game. I think that this is closer to the WVU game for Penn State than it is the USC game. Right, so I'm going to lay the points and take the Nittany Lions. And I texted our boy Pat Fitzmaurice, who I do a bunch of shows with. He's a Wisconsin guy. I said, hey, Fitzy, is there any chance your Badgers cover this 6.5? And his response was, hell no. That was it. So from the Badger fan
I
himself.
love backing teams when their fans give them no shot. Oh, yes. Great spot.
We'll see. We'll see. It's not my favorite game because Wisconsin is home, but I'm still going to take the Nittany Lions, lay the points.
So funny enough, my friends and I, each week, we've started doing this thing that we will all put in, all 12 of us from our fantasy football league, we all put in one bet, we parlay it together in a 12-legger, and if we cash, we all cash together. My pick this week is the Penn State money line. So hoping for a redeemer, we were sweating out the Chargers. We just needed the Chargers to win on Monday night, and we were going to win $2,000 for the group. So, yeah, that was a brutal one, but I'm hoping we can bounce back. Penn State money line, that's my lock of the week, fellas.
Don't bet on Harbaugh's.
Yes, absolutely. Let's go ahead and round out the program, though. In College Station, where the 8th-ranked LSU Tigers are now 2.5-point dogs to the 14th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies. LSU wide receiver C.J. Daniels was active last week, and he went 7 for 86, one of his best games in an LSU uniform. However, he took a cheap shot at the end of that one, and now he's potentially back on the injury report here this week. Texas A&M, they lost Chase Besantes. That is what their starting left tackle there, and he's questionable for this game. It should be an absolute beautiful day down there in Texas with game temps projected to be in the low 80s. Bogman, are you making the trip here to College Station, and are you rolling with the Aggies?
Not going to go give the Aggies money at all. No, thank you. So, I mean, if
it's good. Mid-80s. It's going to be a great day.
I'd just go outside. I live right down the street, so I can just go outside. It's beautiful out here right now in the 80s. I'm still wearing shorts, guys. It's outstanding. But look, the public doesn't know what the hell to do with this game, right? Like right now it's 51% on LSU. It's 50% tickets on the over. Like it's really close here. So this game, these are the 2 best teams in the SEC right now, which is kind of surprising to say, but they've both been very, very good. I like the under here because of the penalty factor. We talked about that on Monday, Seth. Both these teams rank in the 100s in penalties. So I think LSU is the better team right now, especially with that offense. I think Weigman's been too inconsistent. So I still like the under, but I also like the Tigers in this game. So I'm going to take the points. I think this is going to be a little bit lower scoring than we expect because of the penalties. Should be a nice raucous environment here. That's really loud. LSU kind of a sloppy team, so I do think they start out some of those drives backed up or, big penalty on a 3rd down or something like that. I think we're going to see the flags fly in this game a lot. So both kind of undisciplined teams. So that's why I like the under, but I just think the Tigers have just a little bit too much on offense for the Aggies to handle. this is another game almost like the Navy and Notre Dame game. Like, I feel, beating Missouri was awesome for A&M. They lost that game early against Notre Dame, but not only did they beat Missouri, but they beat them soundly and convincingly. So if they come away with a win against a good LSU team, I'll look at them in a different light. But I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. So give me the Tigers and the under in this one.
Terrell, there could be a spot in the SEC championship determined by the winner of this game. Who are you backing?
I'm taking the Aggies. I think Mike Elko's group has started to look better and better and better with each week. They got a good win against Arkansas, got a good win against Mizzou. They were able to keep that win against Mississippi State in Starkville, a place that they kind of struggle at times. But I really, really think that Elko is starting to get this group rolling. And I swear to you, I swear this LSU team is not number 8 in the country. I don't know what they are. I don't know what
I agree
they
with
are,
that.
but I swear
that's
they
a bad
are
ranking.
not number 8 in the country. No, they are not that good. I think Texas A&M humbles them. I think this is the second loss for LSU. I keep going back to how bad USC looks, and LSU somehow lost to USC. I swear to you, this LSU team is
also
not
week
good.
1 though. That was
yeah,
a while ago.
Yeah,
LSU's improved. I'm with you, Terrell.
improved.
I don't think they're 8. I also don't think A&M's 14. So we'll see.
Yeah, give me A&M. I'll lay the points.
Okay, and that'll do it for us today on the Betting Pros College Football Show. Bogman will be back later in the week with more best bets and some player props as well. I'm still waiting for them to be legal here in Pennsylvania, Bogman, but until then, I will enjoy your show on Friday. Like this video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel and podcast feed. Plus, download the Betting Pros app. For Scott Bogman and Terrell Furman, I am Seth Woolcock. Thanks for watching. Take care, y'all.